Welcome, guys. We're here to preview a massive fixture this weekend as Manchester United travel to the Etihad to face the leaders and possibly champions-elect Manchester City. I'm here joined by Venal. Naidu. How you feel?
Okay, and you, man. Nice to be here today
Good.
to discuss the big match. I mean, not often you see, all over DSTV, they got adverts. I mean, my parents are watching the cooking channel the other day, and the Derby advert came across, and always getting excited to watch this. They're watching MasterChef on 116 the other night, and the advert came across again. Always good to get that excitement and that buzz going. Even like weeks before it happened, I think from last week Wednesday it was out, and getting people interested and ready for the game, and yeah, looking forward to discussing it now with you.
Yeah, as you know, I'm a massive Man United fan, so I'm always buzzing when we play big and quality opposition. So I'm excited. The last time me and you did a video together, we got smacked 5-0. Your team, Liverpool, hit us 5-0.
Yeah.
Is it a question of how many City is going to beat United by, or is there a football match that's going to happen?
I honestly do feel that there is going to be a football match that's going to take place on Saturday. I honestly do feel like, that both teams are... City had a few blimp the other week against Spurs, and I do feel like for some reason, many people don't forget. Many people forget that when specific teams play each other, they just can't win. And all the pundits, and when I watched all the English previews building up, Don Hutchinson, Leroy, all were saying City is gonna wipe the floor with Spurs, but none of them took into consideration that Spurs always pitch up against City, and just like United always pitch up against Manchester City. They've beaten them a lot over the past few years, and even on those days when they're away from home, I mean, when they were 8-1, I think last season as well, they came out, they got the victory, or was it 2 seasons ago? I think they were 8-1.
Yeah,
and then on Saturday again, they're 6-1 to win, and I don't know what's gonna happen or transpire, but I do feel like United do look like good value. Yeah,
I think for the punter, there's a lot of value there. If I was gonna take a bet, I'd say Bruno Fernandes anytime goal scorer, 38-10. If you want to take that, it's available at Hollywood Bets. But I just feel that United is lacking that cohesion still, and there's something missing up top. I know there's only 2 managers. I agree with what you're saying. There's only 2 managers that has beat Guardiola gave him a league double.
Yeah.
So we don't count Spurs because Nuno beat him 1 and Conte beat him 1. The 2 managers are Jose Mourinho and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So Ole was getting beat by Sheffield United, Istanbul in the Champions League and stuff. So the players, they just show up. It's like that massive occasion. The lights are on. The key players for City, is there too many, or you can maybe pick out 1 or 2 for us?
No, I honestly feel as if City. Sometimes you don't even know what their starting lineup is gonna be. Is Bernardo Silva gonna play? Is Riyad Mahrez gonna play? Is Sterling always should start? I think Sterling will start against Man United, and in the center, of course, De Bruyne is always gonna be there as well. I would say, De Bruyne. And if he pitches up, it's always going to be tough the way he spreads the ball across the pitch. And of course, Edison. I think Edison is we always ignore him and always bring him into because he hardly has anything to do with the way City keep the ball. But I honestly think that he's going to have a massive role to play on Saturday. And from United's side, again, I think their back line, their wing backs, Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw, gonna have a lot to do on Saturday, and honestly, they're gonna probably be the most tied to individuals after 90 minutes. The way they're gonna have to keep up with the play and back front, and in saying that, I just wish and hope that they can remain resolute at the back, and in doing so, come away with the counters that they're good at producing. I just want to see from a United perspective, Jadon Sancho playing on the side, which is more confident on. I don't like him coming off the left-hand side. I know it's his norm in the Premier League, play the right footer on the left, play the left footer on the right. But when we grew up, when we started playing ball, when we were youngsters, you're right-footed, you're playing on the right wing. You're left-footed, you're playing on the right wing. This whole cutting in thing and coming in on your right foot only came across over the past few years. And we always knew, run to the line, cross the ball. That's what we knew.
I think maybe Frank Ribery and Ian Robben changed the game, and then coaches started to copy their style.
Exactly.
I think actually you mentioned Edison. If I had to pick a player for Man United that will be outstanding and help us win the game, it's David De Gea. It's always him, because City could put 5 past us easily, like how Liverpool did if we're not on our game at the day. But David De Gea, I think he can be the game changer for us. He's got that twinkle in his eye, or whatever you want to call it, that is just his day, and then no one can beat him. That's the way we beat, because I think he stopped everything, like 15 shots on target, and then Martial scores 1 goal and we win 1-0 or 2-0. So we're going to look to sneak it like that. But with Rangnick's style of open play, I'm not sure if we can do it like that there, especially if he's going to choose Maguire. You know how I feel about Maguire. I know you're a massive fan of Jack Grealish. What do you think of him being left out of the team?
No, I think he chose to go. He went from a team where he's the main man to being in a team where there's basically like 5 or 6 of exactly who he is. And, I mean, the Villa supporters already made a song like, who needs Grealish when we got Coutinho, and that's what happens when you're like the main man and you go to a team as big as Man City, as big as Real Madrid, or Barcelona, as we've seen over the years. You just become a number on the team sheet. You lose that connection you have with the supporters and whatnot. And he went to a team that has so many similar like style players as himself, and it's just unfortunate, And it's all about, I mean, like, with just 2-3 months left of the season. And of course, unluckily for many, the World Cup is only in November, December this year. For all these players, it's all about getting into the World Cup squad right now. And at the moment, is Jack Grealish going to be in that English squad,
It depends on that coach. I also don't like that coach. I think he's the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer of international managers, Gareth Southgate. He always picks a very odd team, and I don't like the way he chooses teams. But going back to Jack Grealish, I think we saw this with Riyad Mahrez in the first season, where he was Leicester's main man, and then he came in, he struggled to adapt. But then when he did start to adapt and start clicking with the team and his teammates, the style that Pep wants to play, where you're not the main man and you have 50% of the ball is at your feet. It's like Pep's team, it's moving and stuff. So when he fits into Pep's team, I think he's going to be a very dangerous player, one of the best in the world or in the league, I think. I really rate him, and I think he's going to be like a mainstay for the England team. If England are going to win or compete at the World Cup, I think Harry Kane needs to play with Grealish. So I know you're a massive Liverpool fan, and let us not let that sway your decision. So you think we're going to do you all a favor, help your Cat City this weekend?
I just want to, honestly, from a Liverpool perspective, I hope you'll at least hold them to a draw. And I can honestly, from my football brain, not talking Liverpool brain, like the way I spoke about, Spurs always playing well against City. You guys always play well against this team, regardless of how good they are, regardless of whatever. You always come out firing. And another key player we forgot to mention is Scott McTominay. And I think, he's going to have a massive role in the game on Saturday as well. And in saying that, I honestly feel as if there's going to be maybe 1 or 2 goals in this game. Maybe hopefully for Liverpool's sake, it's 1-1. But from a football's perspective and from Manchester United's perspective, I honestly see you guys holding them to a draw. Maybe a 1-1 or at the most. And I just hope that, you guys, if you guys start off well in that first 20-25 minutes, showing that you're here to play as well, and, really remain resolute. I mean, Everton almost held them for a draw as well. And
Everton were very unlucky in the last 10 minutes.
Exactly, my point. You guys
they were robbed with the handball, the Diaz handball.
Exactly, and very shocking that, I think not to be controversial on this video, but City have been getting away with too much of late. I mean, if you look at the the PGMOL came out and did an apology to Everton for saying that they never award the penalty last week, and which is completely shocking. I mean, if you look at it from in retrospect, like certain like 2 years ago, I mean, in the last World Cup qualification for the 2018 World Cup, I mean, South Africa had to replay that game against Senegal after beating them because unfair
Corrupt
penalty
referee,
for a corrupt referee. All that's happening is a slap on the wrist. We apologize. I mean, why aren't the journalists of the world making a big thing about this? Why can't Everton request a replay as well, you know?
Exactly.
Because that is absolute nonsense. It is absolute, it's rubbish.
I hope referees don't spoil this good game for us, because sometimes it does happen where a silly red card is given, or something odd happens where we don't enjoy the game. It becomes a tactical game. One side sits back, accepts the draw. But I remember you said Scott McTominay, so I think the game will be won and lost in midfield. If Ilkay Gundogan is playing for City, I think he's going to run the show. But if United are going to have any chance, I think we're going to have to be on him and don't let him play his game.
No.
So if me and you had to put half and half money and put something on this, what would the bet be?
I would say that, basically, with the United manager first time going to the home of the champions, and, he's going to be a bit fearful, basically, and he's not going to be all, confident, as he's not going to have that same Solskjaer style, we're going for Solskjaer's Man United through and through. He's going to be a bit hesitant. I would say it's going to be a very low, probably be 0-0 after 45 minutes, and then he's going to show belief again. Then he's going to show, you know what, boys, we can actually do this. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go for a draw at halftime as my bet if I was having a bet on that game. I don't know, what would you go for?
I think I agree with your one. I like that one as a solid bet. I think that's a good one. I think it's around 18-10, 2-1. We'll get that halftime draw. Both teams going to try to be tactical and keep the star players or whatever they got off the bench in the last 30 minutes. So I think that's a good bet. But being a United fan, I think the value bet, I'll go for Bruno anytime scorer, 38-10.
No, thanks, Bryan. Appreciate that.
Sure. And Liverpool this weekend, you're on fire. I mean, you think you can get another win and keep that pressure on?
I don't think we can, touch all the wood in the world, but I don't think that we can, do anything wrong at the moment. I mean, everyone's just, the squad rotation has been amazing by Klopp this season. I think, the bringing in of Diaz has really, taken us to a new level, and, it's just amazing to see us, playing at the same level, bringing in new players. I mean, against Norwich in the FA Cup, we were brilliant in that first half, bringing in the 10 new changes and, 10 changes from the Carabao Cup final, and just, winning and winning and winning. And to be honest, I don't think no one can stop us. I think we are going to go close in everything. And yet there I said the quadruple is on.
Okay, let us leave on that high note. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you soon. Cheers.
Cheers, man. Thanks, B.
For more soccer betting tips and previews, get the latest copy of Soccer Betting News for only 10 Rand at your nearest Hollywood Bets branch or news agent.